Welcome to the match reaction video here on Latte Firm. Arsenal have beaten Real Madrid by 5-1 on aggregate to go storming through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's right, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli scoring 2 wonderful goals at the Bernabeu to give us a 2-1 win on the night, 5-1 on aggregate. Have some of that Remontada FC. Welcome to the show. So much to talk about in all the excitement that I set the program for tomorrow night. So hopefully many of you have spotted the mistake. Hopefully you are here to watch tonight's show. So we're going to go through tonight's game. What have we seen? The Arsenal have been to Real Madrid and we have slapped them in front of their own. How good does that feel? Welcome to the show. If you're tuning in for the first time, please do, of course, subscribe, like the video, get involved in the chat. We're going to go straight to the chat because lots of you have realized that I've set the time for the show for the wrong time, but you're here anyway. Raphael catching off, welcome to the show, says, my, oh my, indeed, my friend, my, oh my. What have we just done? What have we just done? I want to talk about the performance. I want to talk about the goals. I want to talk about what it means for Mikel and chances that we've got in the semi-final. Buckle up and just get ready for the ride. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Raphael says, what a night, what a team, what a manager, what a club. Big ups to everyone, he says. Come on, you Gunners. V Vlad's in the house says, let's fucking go, guys. What a colossal night in our history. Rice, MLS, Saka, Martinelli, excellent. What a night. Come on, you Gunners. So many of you so happy. The timeline has been glorious. Absolutely glorious tonight. It's just what I love to see. Oace, welcome to the show. Says 1 goal and 2 assists for Mikel Merino over 2 legs. What a job he's done up front, as well as repeatedly sprinting back to help us out in midfield. There is a slide dedicated to our unsung heroes, and Mikel Merino is absolutely one of those. He also goes on to say, is Miles really 18? Again, Lewis Skelly. He looks so comfortable on the greatest stage at that young old age, and he is doing bits for Arsenal. V Vlad says, just realised this is tomorrow. No, FK, no, it's actually tonight. I've completely messed that up. You guys know the drill, though. Match reaction videos on a match day straight after the game. Dave F6X says, Representada to destroy the European champions once and then to do it again. Miles is an old soul, he says. He's 1,800 years old and has whooped ass across millennia. Miles Lewis-Skelly is phenomenal, and this whole team is phenomenal. In fact, Louis, welcome to the show, says this team can run through brick walls. They are doing magic bits for Arsenal. What a team, what a squad, what a coach, what a night, what a club, and what a feeling it is to be able to talk to you guys on a night like this. Louis says the game was won in the first leg. Even Madrid knew. This is why they had the massive PR campaign to gain whatever advantage that they could. They thought we would choke. This team can breathe underwater. Never forget all of that sort of Remontada FC, and we're going to shut the roof, and they've been making all these comps, and Carlo Ancelotti's eyebrow, like, they have been so rustled this whole week. They are the most successful club in world football, European football in particular, 15 Champions League titles to their name, and never have I seen them so just unhinged, on strings, rent-free in their heads. Arsenal have lived over the last few days, and it's been absolutely fabulous. Dave Guna73 says, welcome to the show. Says, boom, the season is back on again. What a massive performance over the 2 legs. Absolutely deserved. Listen, what this tells me tonight, ladies and gents, boys and girls, Arsenal are, without any doubt, the best team in England. It's just injuries have absolutely destroyed our Premier League campaign. Fine, it is what it is. We will come back next season. But this coach, this squad of players, what we're going to do in the summer in terms of attacking forwards, next season is going to be so good. Karen, welcome to the show. Good evening. I know everyone is great tonight. I can finally laugh at how cringe all those Real Madrid comeback posts were. Did you see the one, Karen, where they said 90 long minutes and translated it in lots of different languages? 5-1. L. Translate that. Hermanitos. Josh Miller says, this is my club. I fucking love this football club. I love it too, Josh. And I love you for watching in. Dave says he's going to be up until 3 a.m. again now. It looks like he's going to be missing the bin men again tomorrow. I am not going to work tomorrow. I'm going to be working from home. I'm going to be highly unproductive. In fact, I'm going to be that guy. Any question that's asked on any call that I'm on and any meeting that I'm in, wherever I'm asked, I'm just going to be Madrid. I'm going to be that guy. Louis, apparently the stream is today. The stream is today, 100%. So, Dave, I've completely messed it up. I've steamed up my glasses. You're absolutely right. Adil's in the house says, let's go. Come on, you Gunners. Louis just shouting, Bukayo Saka back from what we assumed was a season-ending injury. Missed a penalty, scored. He was the remontada. I like that. Thank you, Madristas. Yeah, listen, Bukayo Saka, of course, missing a pen. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, having the resilience to show his brilliance. And what a finish against Thibaut Courtois in front of the Real Madrid faithful. Amy Gibson, welcome to the show. Another Latte Firm Patreon member says, we need to get to the final just so I can watch this on a Saturday. These midweek thrillers kill me. How am I supposed to celebrate on a Wednesday? How are we supposed to go to work tomorrow? How's anyone supposed to go to school or, well, actually, Easter holidays, do anything? We are just not going to function. The timeline is glorious. The mood is sensational. I might not sleep tonight. Amy, I completely feel your pain, but your frustration as well. Rock the Gaspar says, vamos. Lewis saying, we are massive. V Vlad is happy that we are here. Let's go, he says. Bakary Lasagna says, get in, lads. What a night. Listen, to recap, Bukayo Saka scored a goal and missed a penalty as Arsenal held off Real Madrid to reach the Champions League semi-finals in what was an incident-packed game at the Bernabeu, the new Bernabeu, a tremendous stadium. We, of course, had a commanding 3-0 lead after that brilliant first leg at the Emirates Stadium. Declan Rice's wonder free kicks. And all the talk was about how Arsenal were going to crumble and how Real Madrid were going to choke us and how they were going to, be the comeback kings. And they've done it all before with all this sort of pedigree and all that sort of nonsense. And we have gone to Madrid and we have shut them up in front of their own fans and in front of the watching millions around the world. All the R's welcome says, yeah, baby, vamonos. Matthew Simpson says, evening chat, it's an auspicious night. Trevor Bibbins, good evening, FK. So happy to be an Arsenal fans. I love shows on nights like this, after results like this, where everyone's absolutely buzzing. I am here for it. I want to drink it all in, take it all in. Wayne, who of course was at my house tonight for dinner with Wally and Yembele, we had a lovely time watching the game. It was fantastic. He says, brother, what a night. Loved being with you and the boys. Tense, food, sick, nerves, the Arsenal. We just couldn't concentrate at moments. It was the most comical night in my living room, but it was absolutely fantastic. I wish you guys could have seen us, but Wayne has just left. And we will be live with the post-match phone-in tomorrow on Twitter, so be sure to join that at some point in the evening. Winston Smith, welcome to the show, says, rice crackers on a bed of rice. Best cooked with the lid on. Yeah, so much for that roof being on. We all know that rice cooks much better with the lid on. Mr. Passion says, remontada. Indeed. Viggs, welcome to the show. Nice to see you here after the first leg. And now, of course, we are through to the semi-finals. Says Saka with the Henry celebration. Martinelli with the Henry finish. I'm blessed. We're all blessed. We are all blessed. Shamal Kumar, greetings, FK from Orlando. What a win. What a performance. Absolutely superb. Let's hope we can go all the way. Come on, you Gunners. Of course, PSG, having beaten Aston Villa only just, are now what awaits us. Arsenal at home in that first leg without Thomas Partey. We will go to Paris for that second leg before we fight for a place in the final out in Munich against either Inter Milan or Barcelona. Baby Verge says, in the end, it turns out to be the real Tada. Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely smashed them today. Afsar in the house says, evening, FK. I hope you're buzzing. I am buzzing. And Baby Verge has come back and says, we are gargantuan. Oh, what a word. We are absolutely gargantuan. I'm so glad so many of you are already watching the video. I know I've messed up the timings, but here we are. Alex Bellotti says, Faisal. Lots of people saying, big up Kiwior. Give credit to Kiwior. There is a slide also on him. And where are the Martinelli haters? Indeed. What a game he had. What a 2 legs Gabriel Martinelli has had. Absolutely brilliant. And tonight, to get that goal, that is a moment that he would have dreamt of his entire life, to go to the Bernabeu against Real Madrid and to score it like Thierry Henry in the dying death to give Arsenal the win. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm so pleased for him. Jags, welcome to the show. Hello, brother. Amazing night. Let's go. But how good was Kiwior? Needs his flowers. Afsar says, FK, I told you many times Martinelli's quality. I've never doubted Martinelli. And Man in the Mirror never doubted anything at all. Says, never in doubt, FK. What a win. JK Miingo, welcome to the chat. We have beaten Real Madrid home and away. Bring them in pre-season in the US so we can beat them home, away, and abroad. That would be a great hat trick, wouldn't it? Great result, but still Arteta out. Come on, Joel. Do not be that guy that messes up the mood tonight. Listen, keep the chat active. We're going to get through as many of the callers as possible. Chat, sorry, I've just been confused with the messages that are going on. Is the phone in definitely tomorrow, FK? Bakary, the phone in is definitely tomorrow, i.e. Thursday, the 17th of April in the evening, UK time. Okay, right. Whew, I feel knackered already. 10 minutes. Hundreds of you watching live on YouTube. Please do like the video. It's a massive help to the channel. And of course, subscribe if you are new. Look, listen, we are going to start by focusing on what was supposed to be obviously a mouth-watering clash, and it was. It was a great game at the Bernabeu Stadium. Obviously, the draw took us there in that second leg. And all week for the last 3-4 days, I've never seen anything like it. The club trying to sort of put pressure on Arsenal. The fans, the media, everyone's piling on. Rival fans piling on. This was probably the most hate watch tonight, and they have all been asked to stand down because we have delivered it. Did you see all these photoshops? Did you see all those video compilations pretending that Real Madrid were going to come back against Arsenal? And here we are. Never forget Remontada FC. Wayneswell says Remont Arsenal. Indeed. Taylor says he's just got home. What a bloody night. My friend, what a night indeed. Absolutely sensational. So good. Matt, welcome to the show. Matt Sanasi says, the 5 a.m. Guinness was oh so sweet here in Sydney, but the win was even sweeter. What a way to start your day, eh? Imagine that, waking up early doors to watch Arsenal beat Real Madrid. Down it with a pint of Guinness and go about your day. Matt, you are a champion. Have a fantastic day. Louis, this was brilliant. Rodrigo's dad was at the ground at 3:43 a.m. What the hell was he doing there? All that effort to go and see his team get absolutely tanked. Beautiful. Absolutely mental, says Taylor. Rodrigo's dad being at the stadium at 3 a.m. Crazy. I just love it. Joel, if this is true, I love you. Miles Lewis-Skelly on why Bellingham refused to shake his hands. I asked him where the remontada was. If that is true, I love you for that, and I love Miles Lewis-Skelly for that. Matthew Simpson says, if you can't enjoy this when it's time to give up football, I don't think there's an Arsenal fan out there that's not enjoying this. It's absolutely sensational. So let's not forget all the build-up that we've had, and I very much enjoyed all of the noise that the Arsenal fans have brought to the social media timelines this evening. So the headline reads, Gunners destroy Real Madrid, 5-1 on aggregate. Absolutely superb. And going into the game, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I've got to say, I was cautiously optimistic. Like I wasn't confident that Arsenal were going to go there and turn Real over. I thought Real were going to bring the game. They were going to be intense. They were going to be ferocious. They were going to try and control the game and be sort of high tempo. And in the end, I thought we looked quite comfortable. If I'm going to be brutally honest with you, that on 51, 52 minutes, I said to the guys in my living room, I want to say something, but I don't want to tempt fate. And what I wanted to say was, they've not really laid a finger. Mbappe had the ball in the back of the net. He was clearly offside. David Raya didn't have a save to make in that first half. We were so good. And it's not even about Madrid being poor or, not being able to muster up chances. We did that to them. We suffocated them defensively. We completely controlled the game, and they were so frustrated. Absolutely frustrated. So really pleased with the way that it's come out, and we've played much better than my expectations. But listen, the starting lineup before we went into the game, unchanged from that first leg. Really pleased to see that. Oh, how I wish we had a proper centre forward. But listen, Mikel Merino, what a guy. Deserves his praise. Probably the most informed non-striker striker in European football at the moment. So look, David Raya in goal. Listen, on another day, he doesn't make that pass to William Saliba. It's a hospital pass. William Saliba doesn't really turn and look that he's got a man on. Probably doesn't get that call. Vinicius, of course, equalising a couple of minutes after we'd scored through Bukayo Saka. But Raya otherwise was really solid. Jurrien Timber, my God, what a player. What a player. And what a tweet earlier this morning. Joshua 1-5. I don't know if that's how you say it. If there's any sort of religious Christians out there. Hopefully not offended anyone, but he kind of predicted the aggregate score. Saliba and Kiwior. Wow. We'll talk about Kiwior, but that as a partnership, William Saliba and Jakob Kiwior have not lost in something like 21 games together. That's insane. Miles Lewis-Skelly, of course, we've talked about. Thomas Partey. Now, listen, he got that yellow card. He got worked up. Easy to kind of like just sort of be really critical at him, but it's a heat of the moment thing in the Bernabeu, defending a lead. Or trying to defend the club in terms of getting through, but he reacted. He's got the yellow card. He's now out for that first leg away and first leg at home at the Emirates. So Mikel Arteta is going to have to do some rejigging. Rice, is he now the best midfielder in the world? On form, in terms of ability, in terms of what he gives a team, the influence he has. Phenomenal. To be discussed. Let me know in the chat. Odegaard, of course, the skipper, much brighter in that second half. Saka, Martinelli with a goal each, and Marino, of course, that centre forward. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Nomsdo, welcome to the show, says it was a long 90 minutes at the Bernabeu for them. Ben, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I completely messed up the programming. StreamYard always does that. If you schedule something in the last hour of the day, it automatically sets it to the day after. Match reaction videos are always on a match day. So it is tonight. What a night. Watched it at work of all places. Buzzing. Ben, I'm glad you got to see that. Wayne says, don't forget to ask Liverpool fans permission to celebrate. I think you're absolutely right. Oh, I think you're absolutely right. Rudy Fizzle welcome says, we had the cigars out all night. Seemed easy. And Joel says, Mbappe was invisible again. Colleen, welcome to the show from South America. She says, honestly felt this was our time. Did think the worst could happen after the missed penalty, but credit to Saka. Came out in the second half and silenced the Bernabeu. Odegaard, much better in the second half, as I've just said. And let's talk about the penalties, because the game really hinged on these two. First up, the penalty that we were awarded. Now, listen, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, guys. I see these sorts of tussles and tugs and shirt pulls and, dragging players to the ground every single week in the Premier League. And I complain with whoever I'm standing next to at the Emirates every single week when I see it happen to Saliba, to Gabriel, to Timber, to any of our defenders right in front of me in the North Bank lower. They every single week, without fail, most corners, players go down because they get pushed or they get pulled and they get, dragged down. Never have I seen a penalty given for it. And when this decision was made in the ground, I could not believe what we were seeing. I didn't even notice it at the time. I had no idea that there was even a sort of claim being made by Marino, which, of course, in the sort of replays, you can see that he does ask the referee. Moments after the game is sort of carried on for a couple of minutes, the ref gets called and stops playing, goes over to the screen. And at that point, all of us in my living room were like, hang on, whoa, we sort of doubted ourselves and we thought, oh, Real Madrid are going to get a red card here, or sorry, Real Madrid are going to get a red card as in for us, or they're going to get a penalty. And then they were showing replays of Marino, and I was like, oh my God, that's a pen. Like, I see that every week, and they gave it. I could not believe my eyes. And then I could not believe what we saw in terms of a penalty. Now, listen, you guys know I absolutely love Bukayo Saka. I don't know what was going through Bukayo's mind when he took that pen, because he's obviously gone to Panenka it, but he's scuffed the Panenka and it's gone to the left-hand side. I don't know if in that very one moment, maybe the occasion got to him, or maybe he just thought, this is the world's biggest stage and I've got a chance to be a little bit arrogant here and make a proper name for myself. Maybe the comments that journalist made in that press match conference where he was asked about, is he on the level of the Viniciuses and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. So many things go through someone's mind, but I've never seen him take a penalty like that before. And I don't think we're ever going to see a penalty like that from him ever again, because he's normally so bloody good at them. He just bullets them, bottom left, bottom right, sometimes even up high. So I maybe it was a pen where he sort of run up and he changed his decision right at the last minute. I don't know, but he's taken the Panenka, he's scuffed it to the side. Courtois makes a really comfortable save. And then, of course, at that moment, the Real Madrid supporters are up, the Real Madrid players are chesting each other, and you think, oh, this is a moment in a game where the momentum can shift and the confidence can shift. And then all of a sudden you give the home crowd something to cheer. But it was a disastrous couple of minutes for us. I really feared the worst in that moment. Let's see what people are saying. Rudy Fizzle says, is this the best central midfield partnership in the world? Rice and Partey were elite. Certainly a conversation to be had. Donald says Rice was world class today. Taylor says Vitinha and Rice, top two currently. Isn't it amazing? Vitinha was at Wolves, couldn't even get a game. And now he's doing bits with PSG. Insane. Absolutely insane. What else is going on? Yeah, Alex has come back to me with the Joshua 1-5, if I remember correctly. If no one will be able to stand against you. Sorry, I'm not of that faith. I'm assuming you're right. And that is the way that it is. Jags says they closed the roof, but not the goal. I like that. Matthew, the refereeing performance was a shambles. Was it? I'm not sure, Matthew. I think the conclusion for the four of us watching it here was that I thought the ref was good. I thought it was quite a humble sort of thing. They were a little bit generous with the penalty decision. He was certainly generous with the second one, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I didn't think the ref was bad at all, actually. And I think he showed a lot of courage to, sort of backtrack on his decision to award Real Madrid the penalty. But I thought he was largely pretty good. I don't know. Let me know. Donald says the French referee gave 7 pens out of 9 European matches. Maybe that's something that we should have been aware of. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Dan says Saka would have been... Sorry, there's a little fly flying around and it's really irritating me. It's like I can just see it in the light every now and again, so forgive me if I look distracted. Dan says Saka would be lauded if that went and he took the chance and it didn't come off. I want him to try that sort of thing. I'm not sure, Dan. Like, I love the fact that he's audacious enough to want to do it, but in a situation where there is no need to just take that risk. Like, just be sure and assertive with your pen and just bullet it either side of the goal and hit it clean. Either side of the goalkeeper, sorry, and just hit it clean. But in the end, he sort of scuffed it, maybe trying to show off, maybe being a bit too sort of overconfident, arrogant. I don't know. But it could have cost us. And I'm glad and thankful that it didn't. But I don't want to see him do that too much this year. Gorka87 says, best ref we've had this year. There you go. Trevor says, I agree, FK. The ref had a very good game, kept it moving. I thought the ref was good. I've got to be honest. The Rudiger stamp, yeah, I noticed that as well. It's funny. I said to Wally at the time, there are players in the game where, when they get red cards and you think, he's not that sort of player. Rudiger is exactly that sort of player that does exactly that sort of shithousing and deserves exactly those sorts of red cards. And I saw the stamp. I mean, he followed through. His foot was already on Miles Lewis-Skelly. You could argue that maybe he didn't sort of follow through on the stamp once his foot was on his body. But he could have got a red. And he did the same thing to Marino at the Emirates where he pushed him into the chest before we scored our second free kick. He's just got those dark arts about him. And today, Rudiger is done. He is done. Wayne says, I think he managed the occasion really well. Only annoyed about Rudiger getting away with that nonsense, but I thought he was all right. Yeah, that's the thing. I thought the ref was actually quite good. Josh says he thought the ref was quite good in his opinion. Really managed the emotional intensity of the players really well. Yeah, there was a moment when Jude Bellingham, I think, chucked Timber to the ground and look, you don't like to see that, and I was calling for the card, of course, but the ref was quite sensible in that moment. You saw him, so Jude, what are you doing? You're losing your mind. Like, just remember where you are and what you're doing, and one more, and you get a yellow. That was really sensible reffing, I have to say. So let's see. 433 says Saka was arrogant, but I kind of like that. I'm not sure, man. I think I've just explained why in situations like this, in this sort of occasion, the magnitude of the game in that situation, score that goal within whatever minutes was on the clock, and we are 4-0 up. The tie is over. You kill it there and then. But there was a chance that they could have used that negative moment for Arsenal and really turned it into a positive and gathered some momentum and tried to go up the other end and done some damage. But thankfully, it's not cost us. They did, of course, get a penalty award, as you can see on the right-hand side. This time, Declan Rice accused of pulling down Kylian Mbappe. I got to say, there are angles still, even now, 3-4 hours later, where I think I can understand why the ref has pointed to the spot. I don't think it was a foul. I just think Rice actually has his arm, as you can see in the top left of that right picture, that right sort of montage. His arm is sort of under Mbappe's arm and sort of grabbing around the top of his chest from the front view. But then you see some slow motions where Kylian Mbappe is sort of springing off the ground and really throwing himself to the floor. And I think maybe it was that action that convinced the referee and certainly the VAR. French ref, was it? Arsene Wenger in the VAR room? Huh? So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted that was called over. And then of course the yellow card. I mean, when the yellow card, he was very quick to give the yellow. Then up popped the edit on the screen saying misses next match. If we were to go through, so that would have been a double blow. But in the end, it's not a pen, so we've got away with it. Declan Rice wasn't booked, and so he does not miss that first leg. And now that we know that Thomas Partey will, that's a huge, huge relief for us. Vig says Rudiger is a nasty, nasty individual. I even questioned his sanity. He's exactly that sort of a guy. Indeed. Admin says Arsenal were just lucky they beat an aging Madrid team. Will get whacked by a PSG. Why are there people like you, my friend, on a night like this? Come on, man. Of all the things you could be doing right now, why come onto an Arsenal stream and start talking about stuff like that? We've just beaten Real Madrid by 2-1, 5-1 on aggregate. The European champions in their own ground in front of their own fans after they've given it the big on socials for the last 3 or 4 days. Come on. Better than that. Wayne says, I love Jude as a player, but tonight he really showed his nasty side. He was very rattled all night, tried starting rubbish because he was losing. Listen, this is not about, Real Madrid sniffing around some of our players. We should be looking around thinking, right, who can we nab from them? And if there was any chance of someone like Jude Bellingham being available and wanting to come to the Premier League, as if that's going to happen. But if there really was, he is the sort of player, Wayne, that I would love to have in my team. I hate to play against players like him. I think he's a phenomenal player. Hasn't been at his best tonight. Arguably, we controlled that and we caused that. But he's such a good player. And yeah, he's showing his nasty side because he wants to win and he wants to play for his team. Joel says, Jude lost his head. The occasion was far too big for him. Wow. There you go. V Vlad saying the ref was sensible, didn't really fall for Madrid's theatrics. Vinicius and Mbappe tried a few times, added one or two others, to be honest, V Vlad. I thought the ref had a good game. In fact, the more I think about it, I think the ref was really good. What else? Bellingham is massively overrated. Yikes. Come on. Let's not do that. Rudiger is doing his best impression of Pepe, says Paul James. Welcome to the show, Paul. Always great to see you in the chat. Right, let's move on to the actual goals because... actually, no, let's not. Let's talk about our unsung heroes. Mikel Merino, let's start with him. Here is a left-sided midfielder, defensive midfielder, a dual-winning monster that we signed to come in and play in that left eight and to be a midfielder. And here we are almost at the end of the season in the semi-finals now of the Champions League. And we're talking about him as being one of the most unsung heroes of this team, one of the most in-form strikers, non-striker strikers in football across top 5 leagues. And you know what? It's not even about his goals or his assists tonight. And of course, he the first penalty that we were given, he won. He got 2 assists tonight. Didn't get on the score sheet, but it's his work he does when we don't have the ball. Rewatch tonight's game, rewatch that first leg, and just watch how hard he works off the ball. And he's so decisive and aggressive in his tackle. He presses so well. He's just... I think I got him wrong. I was not familiar with your game, Mikel. And listen, I don't know if you're going to be a starter once the entire squad is back and once we maybe make a couple of signings in the summer. I certainly don't think your life is going to continue sort of as a centre forward, although I cannot argue with the numbers you've been putting in. What's that? 6 goals in 11 games, 9 assists now in 11 games or something stupid like that. I mean, I can't ask for more. I cannot ask for more. And he deserves so much praise. His performance tonight was sensational. To go to the Bernabeu, to be leading the line for Arsenal Football Club as a non-striker who's never played up front, up top, prior to 6-7 games ago. Brilliant. I could not ask for more. And I think he deserves all the praise he gets tonight. And the other chap, let's just get some comments on Kiwior. 2 actual assists, says Viggs. The first one for Bukayo Saka. The weight of that ball. He sees Saka running across the back line and plays it into a space. Beautiful assist. Didn't think he had it in him. I've got to be honest with you. That's the sort of pass I expect Odegaard to do, and he struggled with that this season. And then the second assist, he sort of wins the ball and sort of runs away with it. He waits and waits and waits and waits for Martinelli to run past 2 or 3 players, then plays it perfectly into space. Play Martinelli into space through the central zones, and you're going to get a really effective player. Play the ball 2 feet out wide on the touchline to Martinelli when he's crowded by players, you're not going to get the best. That was a delicious pass from him. And he set up Martinelli to get that goal. Mikel Merino, I salute you. And listen, Jakob Kiwior. He's obviously 3rd, 4th, 5th choice centre-back at Arsenal. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. I mean, if Tomiyasu, Ben White, Calafiori were all fit, I don't know if Kiwior would be playing. But he is. And he was immense again tonight. The first leg, I watched it back now twice, full rewatch. After the first sort of 5-7 minutes, he really settled into the game. And he looked so good alongside Saliba. And listen, I'm not going to even dare to suggest that, Gabriel who? Because Gabriel would have loved occasions like this, ties like this, legs like this, games like tonight. But Jakob Kiwior, someone who's coming from Spezia in Serie A, 25 million euros, whatever it was, gets a few games every now and again, doesn't get a chance to really build that confidence, build that momentum, build that familiarity with his teammates. He's come in and he's just been fabulous. And who would have thought, we go away to the Bernabeu, we play Real Madrid over 2 legs without Gabriel Magalhaes, and we come out 5-1 winners. And this guy was absolutely superb. Absolutely superb, Jakub. Ben says Kiwior was immense over the tie. Imagine if he made the mistake that Saliba did. Well, quite. I'd have been on his back. And I'm big enough to say, actually, this guy has surprised me. And Look, there's talk of I've been saying Dean Howson. There's talk of the young Spanish centre back from Bournemouth coming to Arsenal as a addition to Saliba and Gabriel, not as a potential replacement. And if that means that Jakob Kiwior gets edged out, then that's going to be a bit of a shame because Kiwior is playing really well. Rudy Fizzle says Merino is like a really cultured Edu. That's a great shout. Great comparison there. Away says Merino will play a part next season as well. He's adored by the manager and the players. He's a real team player. Kiwior has added £10 million to his transfer value. We, of course, bought him for 25 mil. I did say on a podcast a couple of weeks ago that maybe we'd be lucky to get sort of 5, 7, 8 million pounds for him, but maybe now we can talk about it a little bit more. Matthew Simpson says Kiwior was fantastic. And listen, I'm not saying let's just sell him if he's happy to be the backup centre back, but I've got a feeling a player of his ability, and he's showing glimpses of his brilliance, he might want to play more regularly. Wayne says Kiwior can leave in the summer with our blessing, but he's more than welcome to stay. Top quality squad player. Joel says, right, I need to go to work. Right, go to work, Joel. Don't be late, but have that spring in your step and enjoy the day, my friend. Kiwior's choice to stay, in my opinion, says Donald. Louis says Kiwior could be the backup left centre-back and Howson could be the right centre-back backup. There we go. Alex, Kiwior just needed confidence and matches. You forget how awful Gabriel was at the start of his Arsenal career. We have short memories. And Louis says Kiwior has a fan in me for life. Wow. Yeah, really good performance. Really good performance. Tim, welcome to the show. Says joining late. How fun was that? I'm sorry, Tim. The instructions on StreamYard have got me confused, and I believe I've scheduled the show for Thursday night. We might even do another show on Thursday night because I'm still going to be on Cloud 9 tomorrow. Let's talk about the goals. The first goal. We're not going to talk about the goals. I've done it again. I just made these slides. My head is on Mars already, and I can't even remember. I need to talk about Declan Rice because the question now is he the best midfielder in the world? And I say that with the utmost sincerity. What this guy has done in the first leg, and it's not even just about his free kicks. Honestly, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I know they were insane free kicks, but his performance is mind-blowing. And tonight, I'm going to enjoy watching the rewatch because I thought watching it live, Declan Rice was outstanding. Beast. Absolute beast. Where do we start? He is an endurance athlete. He is a box-to-box powerhouse. He breaks up play. He's an amazing carrier of the ball, passer of the ball. He's increasingly press resistant. He drives Arsenal. He sets the tempo. He sets the standard. He gets us going. What can I say about Declan Rice? I mean, phenomenal. I did say it to the boys tonight. He might be the closest we've had to Patrick Vieira. And I loved Patrick Vieira. I was lucky enough to watch Patrick Vieira week in, week out when he was at Arsenal back in the day. And Declan Rice is absolutely... He's entered that chat. He's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Let me know what you guys think of Deckers. I mean, Donald says... He's officially a £200 million player. Matthew says Rice should be captain as much as I love Odegaard. It's time. Does he need the captain's armband? I mean, he's playing like a leader. Why would you change him? Luke says it's between him and Pedri. Pedri's been fabulous this season. But Declan Rice, wow. Declan Rice, what a player. Adam says he's a 6 or an 8 in any team. Tim says Rice was everywhere. And Baby Verge says Deck is the most complete midfielder in the world. Yes. Yes. Man in the mirror, the Arsenal warhorse, stallion, he describes him. Rice is vice captain. Anajit, welcome to the show, says Declan Rice is announcing himself to the world. Go and win it. And his legacy in Arsenal midfield will be remembered just as the same as Patrick Vieira. And I think Declan Rice said after the game, he saw the upward trajectory that the club was on when they signed him. And he believes so passionately in this squad. He believes in the ability. He believes in the coach. He believes in himself. He's talked about how much he's learned and developed his own sort of reading of the game, awareness of the game, and ability to play. I don't even know if he's reached his ceiling, guys. Like, wow, just what a player. What a performance. And so proud that he's here. So proud. Yeah, Louis, I noticed as well. He loved I loved the reaction to Partey's yellow card. Partey got booked, of course. He got caught up in the moment. I think it was a scuff with Jude Bellingham, I want to say. Maybe Rudiger. I can't remember. And Declan was so pissed with him. Like, he was shouting at him, like, what are you doing? Calm down. Like, switch on type sort of messaging. I love that. Proper leader. Doesn't need the armband, but proper leader. Vivlad says, Rice is our leader. He always steps up in the biggest moments. Best since Vieira for sure, FK says Rudy Fizzle. He brings the ears. He gets a statue. Imagine if he helped lead us to winning our first European Cup in Arsenal football history. Vig says Rice reprimanded Partey when he conceded that yellow. That's what a captain does. Indeed, he sort of led by example. Shimal Kumar, another shout. Rice should be our captain, would walk into any team in the world. He's fast becoming Mr. Arsenal, in my opinion. Proper leader. Donald says Declan will be unplayable by 27. We've got him until he retires. Yeah, look, he's still so young. What a player. Alex says Declan Rice is a dream player. He's peaking at a high rate. Love everything about him. Love the guy. And, he's just such a nice guy. You see him always smiling, happy, humble in his interviews. He just gets it. He gets it. And I absolutely love Declan Rice. Right, now let's move on to the goal, shall we? Brilliant Bukayo. I mean, this guy's mental strength is insane. The way he's come back from injury, the way he came back from the penalty misses for England, the way he came back from the penalty miss in tonight's game, just in the first half, that would have eaten him up. But no, I mean, again, watch the goal back. Arsenal are moving the ball around centrally. They get it out to the right. They then work it out to the left. And Bukayo Saka, off the shoulder of, I think, their left back, runs straight across the back four and runs into space in the box. Marino plays that beautiful slide ball. And what a finish this is. I mean, you don't really appreciate the finish until you see it from the camera angle behind the goal, as per on screen. And then there's another camera angle which you see Bukayo Saka sort of coming onto the ball and then dinking it over the keeper and just a change in direction of the ball. What a finish. What a finish. And what a celebration to kind of wheel away with the finger on the lips and do the whole, in front of the Real Madrid fans. Sensational. Bukayo Saka, I mean, what a player. So pleased to have him back and to be scoring a goal on Real Madrid turf where the world is watching, where the enemies are hate watching. He is truly our star boy. And again, it reinforces my point from earlier in the show. If Bukayo Saka was fit all season, I think we'd have won the league. Saka, truly our star boy, says Raphael. And Matthew says, I love the way that he did the Panenka to score after failing to score the own. Yeah, the Panenka, he scuffed it, didn't he? But he's done it. The King salute, says Gorka 87. Bukayo, better than Vinny and in a few years, Mbappe? I'd say yes. KSSNYW, who's just joined the chat, says, FK, we did it, this team. There's still a long way to go, my friend, but what a night. You have to enjoy the win tonight. I heard Steve McManaman and Owen Hargreaves talking about, well, it's just the quarterfinals. Lots of teams that get to the quarterfinals. This is Arsenal, where we have been down in the dark sort of depth of mediocrity for the last, couple of years under Unai Emery. And then we had to rebuild and we've gone from 8th to 5th to 2nd. And now we're in the semi-finals of the Champions League and we've just beaten the European champions, 15-time champions. 5-1. Got to enjoy it. Remon Nada, says Rafael Kachanov. I like that. I do like that. And Louis says, I love this team so much. There's a special kind of togetherness here. The average age of our team in that first leg was 25 years and something days. So we've got a lot of time on our hands. Away says, how do we get to sleep tonight? Go to the office at 7 a.m., but who cares on days like this? How do we get to sleep tonight? I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. Yes, MYW says, OMG, McManaman was full-blown celebration police tonight. I know he played for Real, but that was a real shame. He's also got Liverpool blood going through his veins. And let's not forget that. He was being very, very salty. He absolutely was. And remember, never forget, the streets don't forget. Grumpy Doctor, welcome to the show, says, Unai Emery wanted to swap Saka for Zaha. Remember that? He was willing to let him go. Can't hate Unai even more. Ooh, what a goal. So that put us 1-0 up. And then, of course, we did concede a couple of minutes on the clock. And David Raya, as you said at the start of the show, had the ball in his hands. There was no need to do it, but he's played the ball to Saliba. When it first happened, I thought, well, maybe because Saliba's such a towering presence and wearing a black shirt, maybe Vinicius just wasn't in his line of sight, but it's completely wrong because he's passed it out to Saliba and Vinicius is, 10 yards sort of further up the pitch. There's no reason for that. It was a hospital pass. The ball's gone to Saliba. Saliba's not even, he's taken one touch and sort of wants to take it to his right. Doesn't even get the call for man on. Vinicius is sharp. He's alert. He's pressed him down and he's put the ball into the back of an empty net because Raya was quite high up in his box. And, did you see all that sort of, pulling the shirt and, pointing to the ground as if like, you watch what's going to happen. Come back FC or Ramontada FC. Nothing, mate. Nothing. Because 1-1. And then we saw the rest of the game out. And even at 1-1, there was just no doubt. We were so good off the ball. And every time we had the ball, we were taking the momentum out of the game. We were taking our time with throws and goal kicks and free kicks. And it was just beautiful to see Arsenal on the biggest stage, just taking control like that. And then, of course, at the death, forgive me for the headline, Thierry Nelly. Because there were shades of Thierry Henry, and we all remember the tifo from that first leg. We all remember that famous game from February 2006 where Henry slalom through the Real Madrid defense to score and put us through into the next round of that year's competition. And tonight, Gabby Martinelli, I doff my cap to you because he's taken so much stick over the last couple of years, but the first leg and the second leg, Martinelli has been outstanding. Again, watch the games back. His work rate, his defensive effort for this team, phenomenal. And, as I said, as a Brazilian player, he probably would have grown up dreaming about playing either for Real Madrid or in front of the Bernabeu or against Real Madrid and having a moment. And tonight he got his moment. And if you look back at the goal, Marino's bringing the ball away. Martinelli runs past 2 or 3 Real Madrid players, sprints into that second half. Beautiful ball played into space for Martinelli. He's run onto it beautifully. And then he's running, and he's opened up his body. And you know what? Martinelli's like an instinctive player. He reminds me of Theo Walcott in that regard, where when Theo was given time to think on the ball, he just wouldn't be as effective. But if you play Theo through onto goal to sort of be instinctive, he was a killer. And Martinelli's the same. If Martinelli has too much to do, either out wide on the touchline and you give him 2 or 3 players to kind of run past or dribble past, he's thinking too much and he tries too hard. Play him into space, play him into goal, off the shoulder of the defender and into space and using his pace. Instinctive player, phenomenal player. And I'm so happy. And let's not forget this as well. Taylor said nutmeg on Hendrick. That was beautiful. I'm sure there's a GIF going around. I cannot wait to see that. Vig says, FK, did you see the clip where Carvajal is provoking Saka for no reason? What a petty little man, Napoleon complex. Yeah, I saw that. Was it after the whistle? There was a little commotion on the touchline, but Saka sort of pushed him away, and as far as it went, really. Matthew says, 93rd minute, that run, that finish was top-notch. Top-notch. Taylor says he's so happy for Martinelli, seeing him miss so many of those, and he deserved that. Getting back to his best, says Owace. And Donald says Martinelli is truly back. I hope so. Hero Down Under, welcome to the show. Says, I love this club. Adam, welcome. Says that Lewis Skelly performance, my word, he says. Lewis Skelly's been doing this now for, only 6 months, really. But in every game, he just looks so much more accomplished and polished and mature. What a player we have on our hands. What a player, eh? Super player. Donald says MLS has so much maturity. It's scary how high his ceiling is. He may become one of our finest ever players. That's some praise. That's some expectation, Donald. And I certainly hope that is the case, but we will have to wait and see, as you have correctly said. Look, Anajit says there is no better sight to watch than Martinelli pacing through the opposition half to score a screamer. Just love this bloke. I'm so happy for Nelly. So happy. This will give him such a huge boost in confidence and maybe gives Arteta some ideas, because look, if Thomas Partey's missing for that first leg against PSG, maybe Marino drops into midfield, maybe Martinelli goes up front at number 9, and maybe Trossard comes in at the left-hand side to play as that left forward with Saka on the right. There's certainly something there for Mikel Arteta to think about. So let's wait and see. Dan says Martinelli is my favourite wonder kid story at Arsenal. He's still got a lot of miles in the tank, so let's see what happens. KSSMYW says, I cannot wait to see MLS at left 8. That's also another option. He's going to be incredible, he says. But listen, if Thomas Partey is missing, Maybe Miles Lewis-Skelly goes into midfield to play that left 8 position with Rice at 6 and Odegaard on the right, and maybe Calafiori, if he's fit, comes in and plays at left back. Or Ben White, who came on right at the death, comes in at right back, and Timber moves out to the left against Dembele. Now, there's a battle that I'd be loving to see. Jurrien Timber has handled pretty much every wide forward that he's come up against. And let's not forget, Ousmane Dembele is a sensational player in really good form at the moment. Siddharth, thank you so much for your generosity, my man. I really appreciate it. It all goes towards the contribution of the running cost of this channel, and I'm supremely grateful. Thanks, man. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you wanted to say something. If you do want to say something, please do come back in the chat. I'll look out for your message, but I very much appreciate your generosity. It's a massive help to the channel, so thank you for that. By the way, hundreds of you watching live now on YouTube. It's late. It's past midnight in the UK, so I salute you for sticking around. The socials content has been so good, and here you are listening to me drivel on about my thoughts. But do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course. And if you want to support Patreon, support the channel, go over to patreon.com/lattefirm. It's not about making profit. It's about giving back to that community. We've got a great little community there. The chat's always active, and I'm giving away tickets to Arsenal games, giving away vouchers to arsenal.com on the regular. So go over there and support that for the price of a coffee a month. Thank you for that. Wayne says, never forget the storyline of our UCL history. Beat Madrid like 2006. Next up, Paris, where we lost in 2006 before beating Barcelona in the final. Like 2006, in Munich, a city which hurt us, our year. As Wayne said in the post-match phone-in, take the journey with me. Wayne, you've got a creative mind, but I hope you are absolutely right. Dan says, could have easily been another Marquinhos or a Joel Campbell. Genuinely can't believe how far Gabby Martinelli has come. Yeah, let's see. Matthew Simpson says, yes, FK. Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield. Calafiori at left back, says Awais. And left central midfield, Marino up top. Sorry, Miles Lewis-Skelly at left central midfield and Marino up top. That's what he wants to see against PSG. Interesting. Rory95, welcome, says, if PSG play against us the way they played against Villa last night, Martinelli could have a field day. Yeah, there's something that I'm not convinced in terms of PSG's defensive ability. I think going forward, they are breathtaking. They are certainly a very different beast to what we played earlier in the season. Luis Enrique's got them playing some really good football. They've got very quiet, very quick wide players, and they move the ball beautifully centrally. They ping it left and right with ease. They've got great passes in central midfield. They're going to be dangerous, but they are vulnerable at the back. And if we are defensive like we are today, I think it's going to be just a mouth-watering game. Was absolutely bossed. We absolutely bossed PSG last time round. Let's do it again, says Rudy Fizzle. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it was, Rudy, first time round. I think Luis Enrique has done a great job, and PSG have grown over the season. Kvaratskhelia, the player they signed in January, is obviously added to their squad and to their attacking talent. So it'll be a tough test. Dan says, thanks for everything you do, FK. Don't thank me. I mean, I'm very grateful. You're most welcome. But I love doing these shows, and I love being able to talk to you guys, especially after victories, because it just makes it feel so sweet. Bailey says, never mind the time. I couldn't miss this, FK. Thank you, Bailey, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It's just great to have you guys here. Up the Gooners, says Chewbacca. We've gone on for 48 minutes. Should go on just a little bit more, maybe? Yeah, let's talk about the gaffer. Let's talk about the gaffer and where it sort of leaves us. So look, 2-1 winners on the night. We go marching into the semi-finals, and what a mouth-watering setup that is. But before we do that, a quick word on the gaffer. I think Mikel Arteta tonight, with the two legs that he's had, my mind is saying, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. I'm going to say it. I think he's established himself now as probably the most talented and accomplished young coach in the game. I don't think anyone comes close. And I don't think I want anyone else managing my football club. Don't get me wrong. What Arne Slot has done, coming from the Netherlands at Liverpool and inheriting a Liverpool team that Klopp just couldn't get a tune out of in the end. Mo Salah has been absolutely fantastic for them, and our injuries has basically gifted Liverpool the league. But what Mikel has done and what he is building and what we continue to kind of, progress as a project is phenomenal. And I think to myself, I keep trying to convince myself, had we have not had the injuries, how different this story would be this season. Had we have actually backed him last summer. Think about it. Last summer, we took Manchester City to that final weekend and we brought in Neto. We brought in Calafiori, we brought in Marino, and we brought in Sterling. Marino and Calafiori, no problem. Sterling, we fumbled the bag. We fucked it big time. And had Mikel had another striker beyond Havertz and Jesus, how this season would be different. I just love Mikel. Absolutely love him. This would have been a fabulous night for him. His Barcelona sort of Catalan background. It's a big game. Everyone would have expected Real Madrid to turn us over tonight. But he's gone then. He was confident in all of his pre-match press conferences. He talked about wanting to do the talking on the pitch. We're here to win, and that's what we're focused on. He was resolute with that. He didn't cave to any of the mind games. He never uses injuries as an excuse. He never hides behind things. He just accepts it. He fronts it. He leads by example. Fantastic. I'm so happy for Mikel Arteta tonight. And he was so happy in the sort of post-match interviews that he did with TNT Sports. Alex says, thank you, Faisal. You're welcome, man. I don't know what you're talking about at this stage, but I appreciate it nonetheless. FK is a shiny one. Siddharth message, by the way, FK, in case you missed it. Huh? Siddharth. Let me go back. Where is he? Where's Siddharth? Sorry, forgot to attach my message. Thank you for the super chat, Siddharth. Really appreciate it. Just to kind of reinforce again. A glorious night today. What a cool finish by Saka. Doubly happy as I graduated from grad school yesterday. Congratulations, Siddharth. Really, congratulations. What did you study, my friend? And what are you looking to do? Post-grad study. Probably a bit too old for that now, but if you guys are younger and you've got a chance to study, education is everything. Get onto it. Farhan says, Arteta schooled Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti's in a bit of trouble, isn't he? Because Xabi Alonso is now being tipped as the new incoming manager of Real Madrid. But Ancelotti looks like he's run out of ideas. Looks like he's maybe fallen out of love with the club there. So let's wait and see. But listen, back to Arteta. Vivlad says he's such a special coach. I'm fully convinced we're going to be unstoppable once we win that first major trophy. Anajit says Arteta is showcasing how good he actually is a perfect fit for Arsenal. Alex says Arteta is the best manager in the world. He hasn't lost a big Premier League game for a long time, and he's outclassed now Ancelotti 2 legs. Rudy says Mikel has absolutely outschooled Ancelotti over 2 legs. Let's appreciate it. Wenger-esque. And when Real Madrid are looking for a new manager next summer, Mikel will be in the top 2. If any big club wants a new manager, Mikel will be top of their list. I'm absolutely sure of it. The age profile, the experience, the proof in terms of what he's built at Arsenal. I'm so sure of it. Baby Verge says, just hope KSC don't do something stupid in future like they did to Mike Malone. Arteta could coach this team for as long as Wenger was. I mean, look, they need to back him in the summer. They need to bring in the additions that we so desperately crave. They need to allow him and Andrea Berta to work well. They need to get these contracts signed. William Saliba should be looking tonight. Arsenal should be knocking on the door of William Saliba tomorrow morning and say, look at what we've just done against an aging Real Madrid team. You don't want to be part of that. You want to stay at Arsenal, win something for your boyhood club. We should be knocking on Real Madrid's door saying, right, Jude's obviously not doing it for you. Let's talk about how much it would cost to bring him to North London. So get these young boys signed up. Bukayo Saka, William Saliba. Get these contracts sorted. He's already got the coaching staff set. Go out and get the players that Mikel Arteta needs to take us onto that next level. And I am absolutely convinced, stay away from injuries next season. The Premier League is coming home. Dan says Arteta will win us serious honours. We've got a very long way to go with this squad. Oh, my wife has just texted me at 12:43 in the morning. What's she saying? 1 second. Can you keep it down? I can hear you from bed. There you go. I'm getting a bit too excited. Maybe I need to hang up because she might just storm into the room and tell me to shut up in a second. Listen, the semi-finals, there we are. Arsenal versus PSG. We are home first leg. We go to Paris for that return leg, exactly the same as the way that the Real Madrid tie has gone. PSG can be a very different beast, and we're going to be without Thomas Partey in that first leg. We will have to see if Ben White can come back, if maybe 1 or 2 other players can make a return to the squad. She's texting quite a few times now. This is how I save her on my phone, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Can you see that? Wife with the skulls and the sort of sirens just makes it a bit more urgent, adds a bit of spice to my life. The Rice interview on TNT said a lot. They all believe they can win. How much more enjoyable is the Champions League, says Alex Bellotti. The Premier League stinks, man. That's only because of the injuries, Alex. If we were top of the Premier League, you'd be loving it. Love the Champions League and the better, less corruption. Look, I think we're going to leave it there. We've been going for almost an hour tonight. All I want to say to you guys is so much love tonight. It's a fabulous feeling. Enjoy tonight. The semi-finals is going to provide so much more opportunity, so much more joy, so much more tension and nerves and anxiety. Give it a couple of weeks, just enjoy tonight. Enjoy beating Real Madrid by 5-1 on aggregate, because Arsenal have been so good. V Vlad says this was so good. FK, much like Declan Rice always delivers. Enjoy the night tomorrow, all you Gooners. Come on, you Gunners. Oh, to be a Gooner, says Raphael. Ben Morton says great show. Thanks, FK. Up the Arsenal. LA Arsenal, Monsieur FK. To top the night off, there's a video of Vinny asking for Saka's shirt. Really? Tag me in that, Wayne, my man. I need to see that. What a beautiful night. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful club. And what a beautiful group you guys are, just talking to you about Arsenal in this sort of mood. It really does make me feel so happy. We will be back tomorrow night with a post-match phone-in on Twitter. Wayne and I will take your calls. I want to hear what you have to say. You come and do the talking. Come and ask me some questions. That'd be great. If you've never heard of that, go to Spotify, go to Apple, tune into the last one. That would have been from the first leg. The post-match phone-ins are always a lot of great fun. Then Friday night on the YouTube channel, we'll be back with a late night lounge. I'm going to be joined by Yembele, Wayne, and Wally as well. We're going to do the awesome foursome. We'll talk about it and just look ahead to the weekend, because of course the Premier League is still there. So we will see you guys very, very soon. Listen, look after yourselves. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Walk into wherever it is that you're going to go with a major spring in your step. Wear your Arsenal colours. Represent with the Arsenal badge. And enjoy life. Until next time. Bye for now.